quite an effort. We're seeing such a economic impact because of the loss of federal jobs. But in addition to that, I think one of the key metrics is also the loss of skills and talents. The federal workforce is among our very best in the entire country. These are individuals who have devoted their life to public service. Many have spent 20, 30, 40 years serving our country. Many of them are veterans. And as these cuts are impacting Virginia, all across the Commonwealth, we are going to see a loss of talent and skills and expertise as individuals relocate to find other opportunities. And that's going to continue to be devastating for Virginia. That's not something we can rebuild easily within a year or two. But let's also keep in mind, CNBC identifies its metrics on some key factors, and one of them is education. And Virginia continues to rank first in education as an important part of the ranking that it has achieved in past years as the #1 place for business. Sadly, however, what we're seeing under the Trump administration and with the rubber stamp and the green light of Governor Glenn Youngkin is that the attacks on our education system are going forth unchecked. Just a couple of weeks ago, we saw the attack on our flagship institute, the University of Virginia, and the Trump administration's deliberate efforts to oust our president from that university. And just this morning, also, DOJ has announced it's scrutinizing George Mason and the leadership of George Mason University. These are deliberate undermining of our institutions of higher education. These are the bedrocks of building our strong workforce, of attracting businesses, corporations to come to Virginia because they know that Virginia produces talent, top-notch talent. And if our governor is not going to stand up to the wholesale attack on our education system that we're seeing from the Trump administration, it will take quite some time for Virginia to regain its footing and to be a top state for business as it has been for so many years.
And I'd just like to add too that research and development is the economic engine for small businesses, and Virginia is not only a country but a world leader in that regard. And so when you have the kind of executive orders that are decimating research, not only across Virginia but across the country, that is going to slow down small businesses' availability to, kind of bring back or give back to the economy. And so we can do better, but it's going to take a lot of work, as Senator Hashmi said, and again, just the right leadership to help foster that and make sure that the safeguards are in place to allow that to flourish.
Yeah, and I would just say, elections have consequences. We saw when we had our trifecta of Virginia was #1 for business. Sadly, when we lost that in 2022, we lost our #1 ranking. When we was able to take back the House, we was able to get back in #1. So we see when certain leadership and certain policies are in play that Virginia does better. When we look at our budget over the last couple decades and we see who had the power to control how our education was funded, how our healthcare was funded, we can see, the Republicans defunded our schools for 20 years. They defunded, healthcare access. They took money and resources away from their constituents. And now we're finally, being able to pass record budgets to reinvest in our education, to reinvest in our workforce and trade programs. I was happy to secure $750,000 for our first Workforce and Development Center here in Suffolk, partner with Paul DeCamp Community College, to make sure that we are giving back and we're serving our community. But sadly, we're still doing the work of undoing all of the wrongs for decades that the other side of the aisle had done by, gutting the budget in the way that they saw fit, and that was defunding our schools and limiting services to people that needed it most.